So I know very little about y'all. Are you both from Ottawa?
Yes. Born and raised.
And how I guess like try to do like a little bit like a biography about music and stuff. Is like how did you both get involved with music, and to bring you to this point of Unsociably High?
Yeah, for sure. I started playing like bass guitar whenever I was. I don't know why I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, whenever I was like around 12. So I started bass, and then around like 15, 16, I started playing guitar. And then it wasn't until like I was like 22, 23 that I like started taking guitar more seriously.
Yeah.
And then it just like music more seriously, and like learning drums and learning a lot more theory, bass and stuff like that. And then obviously transferring that over to piano and all that kind of things. So yeah, quite young.
Okay.
Is whenever I started, and then always been in and out of punk bands and metal bands and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then finally was like, I want to do something different. And then here we are.
And how about you, Tiffany?
So I played clarinet in middle school.
Wow.
So that is that's like my first taste. And I mean like the recorder before that, but
the recorder.
you know.
The most beautiful instrument of them all.
Right, of course. And like since I think maybe 8th grade, I was a theater kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have kind of experience on the stage and kind of just, being the center of attention, I guess. And
was that like involving like acting and stuff? Maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then when I got to high school, I was in a musical.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my first time actually singing in front of people, which was terrifying. But at the same time, like I've always been really interested and loved singing a lot. And that was kind of like my passion the whole time. But I kind of felt like I had to stay in my lane, like as a theater kid. As a teenager.
Okay, you were afraid to be a full-fledged musician, yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I got to this point in my adulthood where I had all of these interests, so like theater and singing and like photography and video production and stuff, and I didn't really know what I was doing or where to go. And so then I met Brendan, and he was like, if we are in a band together, because I've heard you sing one time or a few times.
But what was the circumstance in which he heard you sing? So is it inappropriate? I don't mean to.
She tied me down and forced me to listen to.
Oh my God. You will listen to me now.
No, I mean, did he tell you like a performance you did or something, or what was?
No, so oh my gosh, I can't even remember.
No, it was more like you would sit there and listen to my music while I'd play and stuff like that, and you'd always be like, "Oh gosh, golly," and you've mentioned before, like she would mention before that she'd like sing before and stuff like that.
Oh,
and I would always be like, "Well, why don't you like take some lessons and take it more seriously and like we start something?" So it was like you were like pretty fresh,
like
fresh. Yeah, fresh, so fresh, so clean.
Exactly.
And then like so it was like an early stages thing to like her musicianship kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you had known each other, and then just like
we had been dating for like I don't know 6 months at that point. Kind of.
Oh, that sounds like a very similar story to me and Marie's, but yeah.
It's hilarious.
Nice. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, happily ever after.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So then you started composing together, yes, and then like writing songs, or like
I already had like a lot of songs written.
Yeah.
So she just we like worked on lyrics over top of them. And then after that, we started like composing more together.
When you say that, like you worked on lyrics on top of them, does that include the vocal melody or just the words on the melody?
It varied. Depends how far down like the song that I already had. Like if I already had a vocal melody to it, then obviously we just like words on top of it. But if I was like, I don't know, I just have this rhythm going, like this guitar lick.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
And a lot of my guitar usually kind of like consists of both melody and rhythm.
Yeah.
So it, like, you could generally like tell where you want the vocals to go by listening to it. Especially like the earlier stuff that we wrote. So it was, just sort of working on a lot of that stuff together.
I find it like interesting that you said that you start off like playing like punk bands and metal bands, but like I would put it more on a jazzy side. What you guys are doing? Yeah.
What we're doing now is like kind of like a jazz R&B crossover, I guess.
Dream pop,
right?
But like how did that were either you into that beforehand, or did you kind of like start exploring it together, or like what?
Good question.
Yeah. I mean, we've both been like into that kind of music for a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, you know, I was just always in metal bands and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I would always listen to, you know, a lot of funk and R&B and jazz and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was taking like guitar lessons. I don't know, I was like 2 or 3 years into it kind of thing, and like jazz lessons and stuff, just to broaden my like knowledge of guitar. Yeah, okay. So like a lot of stuff was written like kind of through those lessons sort of thing. Like as I learned, I'd write and stuff, whatnot. So yeah, it wasn't like, to someone who, you know, like yourself sitting on the other side of the table would be like, wow, this was out of the ordinary. Yeah. But like to us, it was sort of like a progression, right? Like it was something I wanted to work on for like a while, and had it kind of like, you know, like I say, songs written and stuff like that, and just kind of like waiting for the perfect person to do it with.
But okay, well, like when you're collaborating together, is there ever, and hopefully this is not a bad question to ask, but is there ever conflict and you're like, I don't want to sing that, or like you write something and it's like I don't like the way this is going, or anything like that?
Ooh, your questions are on fire, and please never like apologize for, because this is so great. Yes, of course there is conflict, especially being in a relationship.
Yes,
you know, like it's at the beginning, and
she cried earlier today.
I did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to get sidetracked, but can I ask what it was about?
Oh, it was just.
Oh my god!
We're filming a music video tomorrow, and we're just very like working on a lot of props and stuff.
Stressed.
Oh, so it's just like a lot of stuff to do.
So this is not time to do this. I'm sorry.
No. This is what we do. This is in our element,
cried,
right?
We laughed.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's awesome. That's great.
She saw a snake. It scared her. It was great.
I was in a better mood after that, so I'm all good. But there's definitely conflict. It's you know, I struggle with not taking things personally. So for example, if like, you know, Brendan doesn't like a lyric or whatever, or, you know, I don't hit a note or something, like I try really hard not to take it personally, and that's definitely a journey that I'm still on. You know, and I'm trying to think about other things that.
But does it happen in the reverse order where so like you're doing something that he doesn't like is the opposite, where it's like he's suggesting something to you that you're like, this is not working for me.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. I feel like you're better at, well, you can get defensive. You can get very like, this is like a good idea.
I can get very crass and standoffish.
Yes.
And then it'll affect that jam because but then like the next day I go back and take the notes and rewrite the song or do what she suggests anyways. So it's a very stupid way, I agree, of the way my mind works, because I'll get defensive and be like, "Arr!" But then I'll change it anyways. So it's just like,
because you know there's a conflict, and it's like you feel like you're right, but you're like, all right, there's something wrong going on here, and it's like, But I had the situation with the violinist guy I played with, where we were like debating a melody, and we both wanted a different thing, and we couldn't agree on it. And he goes, "Let's flip a coin." And I said, "Because you want to flip a coin, that proves that you don't care much about your melody as I care about my melody." That was my argument. It's all very petty, but
always, yes.
That is a good point, though.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
I mean, how does the factory, the songwriting factory, typically work? Because I read on your website that you're working on is it a folk album or country album or something?
Country EP, just three tracks. So I'd call it country. It depends on your definition. It would fit under the country umbrella for sure. So that was just like, I've had these songs written for a while.
Yeah.
And have always tried to do them myself, kind of thing, like record and stuff. But then, like, I don't know, I'm a grade A procrastinator. So it was finally like, okay, let's put some money behind this and actually do it properly. So we're working with Kick Me Records. Like, you know, things are going great. So that's what we're doing tomorrow is we're filming a video for one of the singles off that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were recording tomorrow as well as you're filming.
No. The music's done. Yeah. The fun part's done now for the other fun part.
Yeah. So I've was a Stefan recorded my band a while ago. Yeah. So how was the experience? I guess you recorded.
That was good. I've recorded a bunch with him. Like our first.
So a Peak of Conclusion was the last album, I should say. It was 2020.
Yeah, I think it was 2020 or 2021. Okay. Yeah, I guess 2020.
We recorded in 2020.
Oh,
I don't know
when we
released
and then
it.
released it. Okay. Yes, right. Yeah.
So he recorded that. He was the guy who recorded that with you guys, right?
Yeah. We did it whenever he had like his recording studio in his basement at the pool house.
Okay.
So it was like super convenient. It was, you know, everything was there and it was super fun. And I've worked with him before, so he like recorded one of my metal projects like years ago, kind of thing.
Okay.
And he's a super good guy, gives good feedback. What I like about him is he's not just like a peebling yes man. Mm-hmm. You know, if you say something to him and he's like, I don't think that's right, or like you shouldn't do that, he'll say you shouldn't do that, or like that sounds off or something. Like he's not just like that sounds great. You know, he's not that guy. So and that's nice to work with because it's like. I know some people don't want to work with that. You know, they're always right and stuff like that. So, but I like having someone who has input on like what we're doing. Yeah, it blossoms, you know.
Also, like it shows like they're actually paying attention to what's going on.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, they're not just hitting a button and sitting on their phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially like as when I was just first starting out, like that was my first time recording anything ever and like hearing the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
But just he's just very inviting and funny, and it was just like a really good and memorable first experience.
Okay.
Recording Peak of Conclusion. Yeah.
But I mean, like you were in like theater before, so you were singing live, but like, are you self-conscious about how you sound? Like does it bother you at all when like to hear your own voice singing?
At first it was. Yeah. Like when I was first starting out, like I've never, heard my voice in my own ears before.
Yeah, okay.
So that was like my first time experiencing that. And so I was just very overwhelmed.
Okay.
By the sound of my own voice. It was like, oh God. And so we had to do like a different method of recording for 2 songs, I think. I can't explain exactly.
Oh, we did it for more than 2, I think.
Okay.
It was really cool. Yeah. Another reason why like it's fun to work with Stefan is he's a sound engineer that's interested in the work. So he always
adapts to the situation.
He's always like thinking of new fun ways to record and stuff like that. So what he did was he set up speakers at kind of like equal parts away from the microphone and then played the music back to her. And she would sing without headphones on, so she wouldn't hear herself in the headphones, but she'd hear herself like out loud, kind of thing. And then with reverse polarity, or as I was explained, he was able to like remove the actual like music track from singing. Exactly. So he couldn't like completely remove it. So if you were to have like the vocal tracks on their own, you'd hear like the slight music behind it, but like enough that you could like easily manipulate it and like mix it and stuff that it would fit perfectly, and like you could tell which song she did it on.
What song was it?
At least we could tell.
Standing?
I think it was Standing and Swim With Me.
Swim With Me,
yeah.
Can I talk about Swim With Me for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So I find there's a really weird thing that's going on here. First of all, this is like a completely just like a random thing. Is that there's a band called Just Fine. They're from Ottawa.
Right.
Yes.
They record with Stefan too, actually.
Yeah.
And so the final song on their EP was called Sink or Swim, and yours is called
Swim With Me.
Yeah, and then later on, I'm having I don't know if you know who Maddie Grace is.
I know that name.
From
anyway,
Halifax.
Yeah, Halifax, exactly. Yeah. So she's coming, and the final song on one of their EPs is called Sink, Sink, Sink.
Stop.
So it's like sink swim, like everyone's like ending
if.
everyone's ending their albums with that. Yeah. It's really weird.
Wow.
Well, we were the first to do it.
Actually, wait, you were the first. Yeah, you were the first. Actually, you started the trend.
So take that. No, all the love.
But okay, so like that song on the album, there's probably other moments like I've listened to the album many times. I apologize.
Thank you.
No, it's a really great album. I think it's awesome. The only thing is I forget all the titles of them all. Like I'm always forgetting the titles. But so the Swim With Me has like a lot of different time signatures going on. I'm counting.
Yeah.
So I think I was counting like it's either 3-4-4-3 or 4-3-3-4.
So the main riff.
Touched.
The main riff would be like.
It would be hard to sing on that.
You basically
talk about the conflict thing. Like I was angry.
yeah. Here, you just learned how to sing. Sing over this. Yeah.
Go for it.
So like the main thing, like recording it, you just set it to like a 7/8 metronome.
Yeah.
And then you play. So like the main riff, I'd say is like 7/8, and then whenever it hits like the pre-chorus and then the chorus, it's like 2 bars of 3/4, 2 bars of 4/4, and then 4 bars of 4/4, 4 bars of 3/4 kind of thing, and and then it all just falls right back onto 7/8, and then you take it from there again. So it is like there's like when we're playing that live, I loop a huge section of it to then solo over top of it.
What do you mean? You loop like you loop the guitar?
Yeah. Okay. So we're just a duo, right? So there's a lot of times we don't have a drummer or bass with us. So like we'll be playing it with like electric guitar kind of thing. So I'll loop like the full like verse to chorus, like that full section.
Yeah.
A minute long kind of thing, and then solo over top of that. So it's a lot of like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4, and then it and because it sounds like you say like a bar of 3/4, a bar of 4/4, then reverse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It sounds like that just because I'm switching. Like the first one I switch on like the 3 end, and then the next one I switch on the 4 end kind of thing. So it just gives it that that feel to it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can count it as 7s. But,
exactly.
But I guess when you start separating it even more, it turns into 3s and 4s.
Yeah, exactly. Math, man. That's all it is. Yeah.
And Tiffany, how did you? And you were not very happy with this experience.
No, I was not.
Are you comfortable playing it live, or?
Yeah. Like especially, we've practiced it so much and we played it a lot of times. So I'm definitely like more comfortable with it now. I think what I still struggle with sometimes is like the pitch. Is that right? The pitch of the chorus,
because the chorus is like a key change.
Yes,
and it's like a very weird, just kind of like substituted chords and stuff like that.
Sorry, what is substituted chords?
Great question.
So just like a chord that has like the same tonic or pull as like another chord kind of thing.
Like an inversion of it or something like that?
It's not an inversion. So it's like I'm just playing what I'm doing is I'm just like replacing so it'd be like a 1-6-2-5 progression.
Yeah.
So or something like that, or a 6-2-5-1 kind of thing, and then I'm just replacing the 6 with a flat 5.
Whoa, okay.
So it's a 7 chord, like a jazz 7 chord kind of thing, not a major 7, just the 7 chord.
Okay.
And then if you replace that, it's a very complicated system, but it just sounds like it's in key, right? And it just moves chromatically down, and it's very nice. So like where I'm playing it is literally just moving down the neck, like that. And it is a very tough one to hit because you have to hit that perfect melody note for it to line up nicely. Though be it I'm not playing that chord.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, like a up here kind of like it's a very I was net like it's kind of down there.
Yeah, and it's more the steps that are weird because where I'm moving chromatically, the melody isn't necessarily moving like that, right?
Okay. But I just want to say that it's super fun, like when you like hear music and then you meet the person who's singing it, and it's like they sing for a second, like, oh my god,
Oh my God, there it is.
it's like, whoa. It's like you're performing like a magic trick for me or something.
I kind of felt like special there for a second. I was like, I can't believe I just did that. Yeah.
There's somebody that I spoke to where actually I figured out how to play one of their songs, and I can't figure out how to play one of your songs. It sounds really hard to play.
Wow.
But she performed it with me. Like I played on a guitar and she sang, but in this case,
nice.
I can't play it.
We'll teach you one day.
Yeah.
There's no simple G C.
No. There's a lot of G's and C's, but it's just not. Yeah.
You won an award for writing a song about public toilets in Ottawa.
Oh, you found that?
Yes, I read about this.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know there was awards to be given for this, but
yeah. So a really cool campaign in Ottawa is called the Got to Go campaign, and it's just about bringing awareness to like our lack of public toilets in Ottawa. I don't know if you've ever walked around Ottawa and had to use something.
Well, I mean,
it's like,
well, it's definitely true. But is there other cities that have more public toilets?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Like you go to Toronto, you can like find a public toilet somewhere. Or like...
I've actually found that like most like. I've never been rejected at like an A&W or a Starbucks or anything like that in Toronto, where I have here, and it's very odd.
Yeah,
and
that is really true.
And I find like most subway stations in Toronto have some sort of public toilet.
Oh, do they?
Where in Ottawa, it's like 2 of them have public restrooms.
I'm
I think.
surprised they even have.
I think maybe even one. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not even. I shouldn't say the lack. Like of public toilets. It's also they try to bring awareness to like the lack of signage towards public toilets. So like, there might be 10 around you, but where are they, right?
Yeah.
So and we have so many government buildings that you could just stroll in and use the public like the washroom, but like who knows which one it is. So
because they don't want you to probably go in there.
Probably not, but at the same time it's like, it's just like it's a human right. Like we all poop.
I actually walked into like a random building on Friday.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a security guard. I didn't talk to him. I went to the washroom and came out and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
very
it is
discreet.
weird. And it is weird doing
like
that.
I belong
right?
there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's like sometimes whenever like you walk into like an A&W or like anything and use the washroom without buying anything and leave, you feel like this weird guilt. So it is also like trying to remove the stigma of that. Yeah, shame.
Yeah.
And so like someone with Crohn's, I obviously like there's been many times where I've been out and about and like, Tiffany, I gotta use one. Like so it was kind of like a project that was a bit dear to us. So it was like, oh, this is fun. And and it like pays money if we get it kind of thing. And it was like
if you get what?
If you like won the competition.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah.
How did you find out about it?
I think just through Instagram.
Yeah,
I think a friend shared it.
Share it or something?
I don't know. I think maybe Kim.
Yes, Kim shared it. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to hear the song. Was it a banger?
Yeah,
it was a banger.
It was great. So it's like
Top
a jingle,
100.
right? You're basically allowed to submit any art form.
Yeah.
As long as it represented like a way to like use a washroom or like bring awareness to like public washrooms.
Yeah.
So we made a jingle and I did it. I always forget who does the song "Don't Worry, Be Happy." Like
Bob Marley?
No, it's not Bob Marley, but yeah. Anyways, every part in that song is done by him, right? Like.
Oh my god!
Like it's all his body. So I took like inspiration off that. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna do that, and then just run through some like cool filters and stuff like that.
So
the whole song is like
percussion's like on
percussion's on me, melodies on me, like my voice kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like clicking and slapping and stuff like that. So it's all just like my body, and like inspiration from that, and the fact that like. Going to the washroom's about bodily function and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're putting way too much thought into it than what was needed, but it still turned out really good. And then had her sing a really...
Did you write the lyrics to that?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like you brought it to me and then I was angry.
The first, yeah. Well,
Don't give me this shit.
The like chorus,
literally,
like Yeah, like the main part, I think Justin sang to me one day because I brought it up. I was like, I'm going to write a jingle song for this toilet song. And he was like, oh, like, and he brought up like that main part. And I was like, okay, I'm taking that. And he was like, yeah, whatever. And then everything else, I think we just wrote within the span of 5 minutes laying on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And
why was it such a rush in 5 minutes? Or just
it just happened. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you had the deadline.
I'm pretty sure the dedeadline was like 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Again, we just procrastinated to the point that I was like, okay, well, like, let's just do this and send it in. And yeah, it turned out really good. And it's really, really quite funny too, which is great.
Do you remember any of the lyrics?
Oh, I think I can remember. Do you remember them?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like,
are you prepared to do a
me.
acapella version where you just like slap parts of your body and you sing?
You're having a night out on the town, but all of a sudden you begin to frown. You look around for a toilet, but Ottawa, you done spoil it. Oh, I gotta pee, but maybe I have to poo. Oh, what does it matter? I just need a toilet.
I forgot about the bass riff too. You forgot one line there. Which one did you start with?
You have me a night out on the
town. Oh yeah, then there's something about your morning coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pretty funny.
It was just a demo.
It's a demo. And then the bass line over top of that was just me going poo, poo, pee. It was really funny. It was great.
Is this song available anywhere?
Yeah. I think it's on our website.
Okay.
Like unsociablyhigh.com.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I don't know if we put it on streaming services, but it's definitely on our website. Yeah.
It's on Spotify.
Yeah. On Spotify. It's like,
we should put it on there.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure, it's probably on the Gotta Go website. Yeah. They basically used it as their like the jingle for the campaign kind of thing. So it was which was awesome. Yeah.
Actually, who are you lobbying the city? I guess is that the
that's the goal kind of thing. Yeah.
But yes. So did it have? Do you know if it had any impact? Did they?
I assume, they're still going strong and bringing, more awareness and stuff. And like they share a lot of things like public proposals for parks and stuff. And they're like, go and voice your opinion, say how much we need public toilets and stuff like that. Okay. And I have been noticing more like public outhouses popping up, especially on NCC property. Mm-hmm. Like before you'd walk down the parkway and like down by like Rideau River and stuff like that, and there was like nothing. And now there's like the odd porta john, right? Which isn't the nicest to use, but at least it's somewhere.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
A porta john is that like a
just like a portable toilet?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, outhouse kind of thing. Yeah, porta potty. Yeah,
porta potty. That's the word.
Yeah, porta john. Yeah.
that's very
portable john.
The other thing I wanted to ask about, which I also read about, was like, you do an annual performance in the nude?
There it is.
Did you suspect I was going to ask this question?
People love that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
That's perfect. Yeah. We do.
Is it indoors, outdoors? I guess did you just describe what was the origins of it?
Well, you know the story. Oh, sorry. She's got nacho in her mouth.
I'll pop in.
So like pre-pandemic, our friend Kim was running like a life drawing thing at Arlington 5.
A life drawing thing is when people kind of pose.
Yeah, pose and you sketch them kind of thing.
Gotcha. Good.
Nude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I went to talk to her one day and she was like bringing up how she ran this life drawing thing. And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you had like a live band one day do it? She was like, oh yeah, that would be amazing. And I was like, would it be cool if we did it? And she's like, we were both like, what?
Okay, wait, no, you called me at work and told me this information that was happening. I was not there. And I was very excited.
Yeah. Because you've always wanted to just be the model.
Yes, I've always wanted to get into just life modeling. I thought it was very interesting and, cool.
But like, so... Sorry, I got some nacho in my mouth here.
Okay.
When...
It's okay.
They're very unprofessional.
It's fine. We've talked about poop. Now we're talking about nudity.
No, but like, so typically, I have no idea how long it takes when someone's modeling. how long it takes to actually to do like a painting of them or like a drawing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like how long would you have to be in this like? Actually, well, man, I don't know. These questions are inappropriate now, but it's like are you posing as they're painting you and as you're playing? You have to stay in the same position the whole time.
Yeah. So generally speaking, like a life model course, like or if you're to go to like a night at Wallach's or whatever, there's usually like set time poses. So it starts off with like 3 2-minute poses and then 3 5-minute poses and then 2 10-minute poses and then there's like 2 half-hour poses. So it like, you know, exercises your mind to like quick sketch and then long sketch kind of thing.
Okay.
So the first time we did it, we didn't really do any poses because it was like, you know, we're like, here we are kind of thing.
Yeah, sweating so much. Like,
and a lot of cool artwork came out of the night.
Oh my God, there's so much cool artwork.
And then the second time we did it, which was last year, we did it live on Elgin. And like we usually do 2 sets. So we'll do like an acoustic set and then an electric set.
Yeah.
And the acoustic set, we kind of had Tiffany almost in the crowd on like a stand, and she was doing more poses kind of thing.
And you were singing while this was
happening.
It
was so hard, yeah.
So you had to stay still.
Relatively still.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
And then the second one was, you know, she was back on stage and it was more just general performance kind of thing.
Okay.
And
but we also had like the projector.
Yeah, there was a lot going on more than that.
Yes.
But as far as like sketching wise goes, it was kind of like, you know, we're standing there and like you know, it's not like music that you jump around necessarily or like rock out to. Yeah, exactly. So it was like, it's, you know, I don't move a whole lot. Like I bob and stuff and tap my foot and like, and believe it or not, whenever you're naked, you're a little bit more self-conscious of bobbing and tapping your foot.
What?
So
Believe it or not.
So yeah, like there's certainly like plenty of time for people to like capture you whenever sketching.
I find this like to be like very courageous. Like I'd be like very, very like very scared.
Absolutely.
And it was an interesting experience to do, and we're doing another one this year. This time at Urban Art Collective in Hindenburg.
Urban Art, is that I know Hindenburg, but I don't know that
it
place,
just opened a couple months ago, 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh, okay.
It's like a art collective building, so they really focalize on like community art and like markets and stuff like that. It's a really cool spot. I suggest you just like pop in one day and check it out. Yeah,
I mean,
super nice
this
people.
is probably like way too much detail, but what's the intersection? You know, it's like Wellington.
It's like Wellington and Bayswater.
Okay, Bayswater. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome.
But yeah, the first time we did it, we were like obviously very nervous. It was probably like the most nervous I've been since like high school or like grade school, right? Where like you know, whenever you had that, like whenever you're a kid and you're performing something, you have the actual like deep down like butterflies in your stomach.
Yeah.
And whenever you grow older, like you grow out of it because you perform so much or whatever. I mean, some people have, some people don't, but you know, I don't like find myself nearly that nervous anymore. Or this like performing nude for the first time was like a total drawback to that. Was just like I had like all those emotions and feelings. It was wild. And then the second time was pretty similar to that as well, but a little less.
A little bit less.
Yeah,
I still had like sweat dripping down my armpit.
Very emotional, very emotional night. Yeah.
I get that whenever I'm at in a doctor's office, I always get sweat from one armpit coming down.
Yes. Yes, same.
No one likes the doctor. Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
Just like ordering coffee, I get that.
I
don't drink coffee, but you know what I mean.
Oh, it's like this, even like so like the regular like interaction with people.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god. I should ask also just while we're on like the different like things, like, so you're making a film festival.
Yes.
So is this your first one, or is there many of these?
Oh, this is the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is kind of like right off the bat kind of thing.
Man, I'm gonna submit something. I'm like, but if I knew earlier, I would have like got
next year. I'm definitely doing it again.
Okay, so explain the origins of it.
So I went to a festival in Toronto just called Sewer Fest.
Sewer? Is it in a sewer?
No, okay. I wish. Yeah, and it's all the kind of same as like what we're doing here, like an amateur film festival.
Yeah.
You know, like no professional equipment, no like try not to shoot it in HD kind of thing. Obviously the rules you could bend and like play with because
unfortunately I use HD cameras.
Yeah. Again, all submissions go to me and I get to, you know, obviously just go like approved. Yeah, I'm not gonna like deny anyone.
Yeah, okay.
You know, as long as it's kind of like within 4 minutes, 5 minutes kind of thing.
Yeah,
and like not totally offensive.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's a big key too. It's like there's a bunch of swastikas on the.
Yeah. Probably won't play that one. Yeah.
Exactly.
I regret to inform you, your submission has been rejected. Please submit next year. Sorry.
So, anyways, it was just a super fun time, and you know, just gives people a chance to just submit something kooky and funny kind of thing.
It's in a tunnel. Is that it? It's like...
So this year, we're gonna host it in a tunnel. So we have some friends that do a thing called Tunnel Fest. And it
sounds familiar.
Yeah, so Witchwood and Adeline usually plan it.
Okay, I don't think I've heard those names before. Okay.
And so it's August 20th this year on the Sunday night. And then, so they have some music performers, so we'll perform at it at Tunnel Fest. And then at the end of it, we'll like hook up a tiny little projector we have and play it. The 5 submissions
gather around.
Yeah.
Wait, how big is the projector? Like
the projector?
I mean,
it projects.
Okay, it projects big. Okay,
yeah.
I thought
it's only this big.
I thought it was a little screen. You know, like it must gather around the screen.
We're just gonna tape a cell phone to the wall.
Yeah. But have you guys made a movie? Or?
She submitted one. I'm working on one slowly, and it will be ready by the 20th. Yeah.
You said she submitted one. It's like it can be rejected potentially.
It
was submitted.
It hasn't been accepted yet. Yeah. And then I'm anyone who submits, I'm making a cool little poster for them as a thank you present. So.
Oh, cool.
You know, original piece of art comes along with your submission. That's fun. Yeah.
What's the poster of?
It's like the Crapital City flyer.
Great, Crapital. That's the word.
Crapital,
that's it.
Crapital City, yeah.
Man, I wish I knew this earlier. Like, I've this is like not relevant to the podcast. But it was like I have layers upon layers of things that are happening on that day.
Oh, that's too bad.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, if I couldn't make the first thing got canceled, there's another thing I have to do.
Yeah.
I got
Classic,
three things that get canceled, and I can make it. Oh man, but it sounds really fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, definitely we'll keep you more posted. Like, so the reason why we're doing it with Tunnel Fest is because Tunnel Fest usually has a pretty good turnout to it.
Yeah.
So it's like a good, great promotion. First of all, like who doesn't want to watch a film festival in a tunnel?
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What is the tunnel actually?
Which tunnel?
Yeah, like it's a tunnel like underneath a highway or something.
So you know where like the Mill Street Brew Pub is? There's all those bike tunnels.
Yes,
it's one of those. Yeah.
Is it right next to the parking lots?
It's the next. It's kind of beside the library, so it's an actual street. It's much below them.
Okay,
and it's down there, and it gets quite dark. So it's a fun tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that sounds really awesome.
Yeah, and we're doing it with that. Next year, depending on like how many submissions we have, might depend where we go. Mm-hmm. But the idea of having it in a tunnel is pretty fun.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, certainly like keep in mind, like submit something this year because it will get played, and I'm gonna try to like put the whole thing up on YouTube. So if you do miss it, you can at least watch the submissions.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, like I am just one man. So
only so much you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
So like our bass player Rick, he had a dream one time and he wrote a script about it, and it's about a guy who hits a deer and then he buries the deer, goes back and digs up the bones, then faints. And then he becomes the deer.
Oh my god!
And then the car hits him.
Wow,
that's
amazing.
Anyway,
I want that. I want that at the festival.
Submit it.
So right now, I had a little synth and I was like making the soundtrack to it anyway.
Oh,
so it's probably about like 7 minutes right now, but I'll try to shorten it down a little bit more because
oh my god,
it's kind of it drags on a little bit, so I'll tighten it up a bit.
Yeah, trim some fat.
Yeah, exactly.
But even
That's
then,
so
like,
good.
yeah, if it's ready, submit it. If it's an old thing that you have to, submit it
Yeah,
as
I
well.
submitted an old thing.
Yeah.
What did you make?
Okay,
Guys?
so oh my god. So in high school,
This is a high school submission?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
like
nice.
like freshly graduated from high school.
Okay.
And I used to make these videos on YouTube about shit my mom says. So I'm like,
What's your-
my mom is Jamaican.
Okay, yeah.
So I'd like put on the accent and stuff and just like regurgitate things that she would say. And it was like people in high school, I remember, really enjoyed it. I did have to cut out a few things
I'm
because
They're too
I would be
offensive.
canceled.
Was she like giving like motherly advice that was like completely like off the wall or something?
No.
No, okay.
No, I can't even like think of one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're doing an impression of your mother?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
pretty-
I
is
do it all
pretty
the time
comical,
still, but yeah.
Is she aware of it?
No. Like my sister knows about it.
Yeah.
But no, she has yet to watch those.
That's all right. I doubt she'll be showing up to Crapital.
Exactly.
I'm assuming that she's probably not very tech savvy. And
No.
Okay. So she's telling. If she had found out about it,
Yeah.
like, how do you think she would react? Would she be mad?
I think she'd laugh about it. I think
Okay.
she knows her character and
Yeah.
like
Okay.
yeah,
She's got a pretty good sense of humor.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think she'd be maybe concerned about me putting things on the internet.
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Yeah.
But the things that she's saying,
I'm trying to think of one.
I'm like, it's not advice, or is it?
No, so it would be like
It's like daily complaints.
daily complaints.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a picky person.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think there's one that I put in that was like, you guys treat me like a slave. You know, I cook and I clean all day. And you know, slavery abolished a long time ago. And these days, if you do slavery, you get arrested. And then she shuts the door.
That sounds exciting.
When she says that, is she sort of laughing, or is she like
No,
really
she's
serious?
dead
That's
serious.
Oh,
yeah.
You have to like go and like try to like talk her down and say, "I'm really sorry what happened here." Like, what do you do about that?
Like, you know, because all of this happened, you know, when I was a child.
Yeah.
So I would just kind of like retreat to my room, basically. That's it. And then write about it. Write a YouTube video. That's how I process my emotions.
Okay, when you had like when you had like friends over, were they like, your mother's crazy? Or
Yes. Yes. My friends are still like, oh, I have to go say hi to Sandra and stuff. Like,
Yeah, whenever you come into the door, like, Tiffany would just be like, say hi to my mom.
yeah. Oh, put your shoes there.
Yeah, put your shoes there. Don't sit on that couch. No one sits on
Oh,
that couch.
you put your coat in this closet.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
very
it's
particular.
okay,
Very
okay.
particular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like, I remember one time I was like washing dishes and I put she has like a window and I
Yeah.
put my beer on the sill so I could drink it while washing dishes. And she's like just like pacing behind me, just like why is your beer on my sill kind of thing? And
my
I'm just
God.
like,
Oh my
don't
God.
worry, Sandra, I'm going to move it. Like, I'm not just gonna leave my empty beer there.
Hi, Mom, if you're watching this.
I'm gonna get like an email complaint about this. I would ask you remove all mentions of me from the internet.
Immediately.
So that's your Crapital submission.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's basically like you just like filming yourself doing impressions of her.
Yes, like compilations of things that she said in the past.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But is it compilations like from that you filmed in high school and you piece it together? Okay.
Yes.
This
Yes.
sounds really fascinating. I really want to see this now.
Sure. It'll be maybe on YouTube.
Maybe,
So
I don't,
yeah. All of those videos are like privated. So
Yeah, private. Yeah, because you need a code to get them because there's unlisted.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I should ask some more questions. Yeah, there's always a point when I do interviews. I'm like, wait, what am I gonna ask next? I should ask. Well, these are just kind of more basic questions, but like, Okay, I guess the idea is that you're usually writing the guitar and then you've written a melody or you write the melody on top of it. Is there like, wow, this took like a really crazy tonal turn right there. I was like, well, laughs and I was like very serious.
I know. It's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. What did you do with the body?
Have there been songs that just didn't work out?
Yeah.
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 Sure. Yeah.
I mean, we're like dealing with right now. There's a lot of unfinished songs for sure. Yeah.
What are the reasons that they didn't like? Is there like it was awkward to sing, or just like the rhythm was weird?
It's usually just finding like the lyrical content that like suits it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like,
that's mostly
it. If you're not in like that emotional state of what the song kind of represents, then it's like tough to write a meaningful or good lyrics to it, right? So it's like, we have like 3 or 4 songs that are basically written and they just need like lyrics put to them. And it's just tough sometimes, right?
And also sometimes like, we were talking before about like conflict and, 7-8 time stuff.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the song is just so complex maybe that I do struggle to write something over it, like find a melody, Yeah. And it's like lovely. And sometimes I'm just like, just keep it like instrumental,
There's, oh my God. I don't know if you guys know. I really wish I knew. There's some band, it's like an experimental band from like the 70s. It had the name Trout in it. Anyway.
Cool.
Anyways, this is. I wish I knew the name. It was like. There's a whole like Vox documentary about it, but basically like everyone was playing like in different time signatures on top of each other.
Right.
It is the most noisiest, weirdest music you're ever going to hear. And then the drummer, so the singer wrote the stuff, and then the drummer was like mad and was like, "How do you want me to play drums on this?" And then he responded, "It's like, how do you think I feel? I gotta sing on top of this shit."
Yeah. Yeah.
You got it easy, Jesus.
Yeah. Totally. 100%.
So songs have been abandoned and stuff, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And ever to come back to, or just like
pretty much always to come back to.
Yeah,
we never
always
really
come
just
back.
abandon anything, but it's like we'll always come back to
what
it.
was one that we came back to? Was there one like that you can think of that we came back to? We just have like a list of songs here. This is my songbook.
That's a lot of songs.
Yeah. And some of them are not finished.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like things like Breathe, like I had that written for a long time and we just kind of noodle over top of that and play around with that stuff. And,
Yeah.
But you like write lyrics and you like hate them afterwards. Like, this is
Oh my God, yes.
Well, that's it.
Yes.
It's like if they don't strike a chord right away, it's like we're like, all right, let's put that one on the back burner for now and like see if we can come back to it.
Yeah. And I mean, I have like countless lyrics and poems, if you will, written on my iPhone.
Yeah. Okay.
But sometimes they just gotta incubate,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, another question too actually is, does melody take priority over words, or words take priority over melody? Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, sometimes words just have like a certain melody to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
you ever like you have like a great line, but it doesn't quite fit the melody, and then you have to like reword it, or you just say like screw it, I'm just gonna like say all these words.
We usually say screw it. I think.
Yeah.
It's usually we'll go for like the story or the content before the melody.
Okay.
And figure out how to work it in there. Kind of like it's like, oh well, if you just like kind of like ram like ba-da-da really quickly, it'll just kind of like rhythmically fit, right? So yeah, I'd probably say lyric like the content over melody for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a thing where so you have a melody and there's no words yet, and then you realize the melody is a certain amount of beats that you start trying to obviously you're trying to write lines to follow the melody, but like so what I would do often is I draw little lines for each syllable.
Interesting.
And then I try to make sure that they all match together. Did you ever do anything like that?
No, I don't do that, but that's like a great method. I might use that. I sometimes, so I like to mostly rhyme things.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll like write the alphabet at the top and then
What? You're at the alphabet at the top. What is that?
Yeah.
Wait, how the A B? You at the whole alphabet?
the
How is that?
whole entire
How is that going to help you?
alphabet.
I don't get that.
Because I can go through each thing. Like, say I'm trying to find a word that rhymes with day. I can go like A, bay,
Oh
hey,
my God. Okay.
fay. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Sometimes I go on thesaurus.com and
Yes.
yeah.
Is it
Cheater.
Rhyme Zone? Is
Yes.
also the
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's a
I've
great
consulted
one.
it a few times.
Yeah. 100%.
So speaking of like lyrics, there's a part. Okay, it's on the song "Blue."
Okay.
It's
Don't
the
worry, we have
chorus.
the whole lyrics right here.
Okay, you have them right there. Okay,
Yeah.
so
We do, yeah.
Can you tell me the lyrics for the chorus?
Yeah.
Because I have a question about it, and like I wanted to read it out to you as a professional, but unfortunately I guess I didn't print it out. But
You were.
thank you. Oh, are these original? No, are they?
They're not like the original,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so actually this is really nice to actually have it like written this way. Okay, okay. Jeez, I'm like.
It's all good.
Okay, every time you ask the same question, I see it in your eyes, you're not the same. Lost, but I know you'll always remember if my favorite color is still blue. So I think the last line, and maybe I'm wrong about this, I'm just going to go ask this question, is that I think the last line is a bit of misdirection in terms of rhyming scheme. I thought the second line says, I see it in your eyes, you're not the same. I thought it was going to end with, if my favorite color is still the same. And then you end it with like an unexpected.
Yes.
Is that intentional?
So the background to this story
Yeah, let's
is
get background.
one of her best friends had, what was it, an uncle?
Yes.
Yeah, and he had dementia or Alzheimer's.
Oh man!
But the one thing he would always remember is like, and he would always ask whenever he would see her, "Is your favorite color still blue?"
Oh really?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what the
Whoa.
whole song's about, and hence why, like, see it in your eyes, you're not the same.
Oh
And then
man!
again, talk about like story over melody, right? It's like, oh, here's something that doesn't necessarily rhyme or anything like that, but it's like that's the story. Like if,
Oh, okay.
and then like, like you would think that it would be like you think that it would be like you'd always remember that my favorite color is still blue.
Yeah.
But because he would always ask, is your color like, so if my favorite color is still blue, it was kind of like why we wrote it that way.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of cool. And again, like whenever you're listening to the song, like it just kind of like trails off, like that chorus kind of like has that like nice, like it's like a C minor almost, like a ding ding ding. So it has that cool like flow to it. If my favorite color is still blue.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
That's really cool. But so like, I guess he was holding on to a memory that he couldn't remember a lot, but he could just hold on to that one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very interesting stuff.
I have to admit, my favorite color is blue.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a great color.
It's a popular one, yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite's purple because I really like red and I really like blue.
You can't decide.
And purple's pretty cool.
Nice.
I like purple. Yeah.
Imagine that this whole interview, I came here, I'm like, so what's your favorite color?
I'd be so happy. It's okay. It's
like-
green.
Like,
What's your favorite vowel sound?
Yeah.
I like O.
another great line that I noticed, like listening to the EP, was in the song "Unexpected," and maybe I guess when you're writing it, maybe you're not gonna realize you're not gonna be like. I guess they're all your babies, but I'm saying this stuck out to me a lot. Was you never took me out on dates, only on smoke breaks.
Yeah.
I really like that line a lot.
That's true. Yes, this was about my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
I hope he's doing well. I wish nothing but the best for him.
And
But
he
yeah,
lives
that
in
was-
Cornwall.
Yeah.
Oh, from Cornwall?
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry. We don't have to get into it. So.
Yeah, that's so funny. Woo. Yeah. So he smoked cigarettes. I always told myself that I'd never date anybody who smoked cigarettes, which is like, I don't know, rude to say that. I don't know.
To declare that,
yeah,
that's not necessarily rude. It's like,
like a preference.
Like some people don't date short people.
That okay.
Yeah, I mean, like cigarettes is, I would say, pretty common.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you're on like a dating app, it's like smoker, non-smoker, kids, no kids. These are all kind of like sort of standard things.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
That's it's a pretty common thing. People don't want to.
But yeah, he smoked a lot of cigarettes, and anytime we were out, it would always just be like, oh, I have to like go out every like 15 minutes. I'm probably exaggerating, but no, we never went out on dates. Like it was just a very like I'd always like breaks. Pull him out, like try to pull him out to go on a freaking walk like around the block, and he'd be like, oh, like I just want to like stay home and play video games, and he has this like cute girl that he could be taking out on dates, but he wasn't. He was anytime we'd be playing pool or something, which is not a date. Okay.
But you're basically saying that you completely blew it here, right?
He blew it.
No, I was making a joke saying that you blew it. No, I'm saying that he sounds like a real catch, this guy.
We both blew it.
No.
Yeah. I also like, I folded your linens in whites.
Yeah.
I rinsed out the bottles from the party last night.
Okay, wait a second.
Also a thing that I did.
What? How? I don't want to get too personal, but
do it.
So were you living together, or how are you folding his linens in whites? Were you not living together and you're folding the linens?
No. He was actually like really clean. So like at the time I was living with my parents.
Yeah.
And I was just going through this phase of like rebellion and just like, I'm just gonna like not ever tell you where I am because you're always up in my business, mom and dad. So like, I'm just gonna like basically insert myself into my boyfriend's life, which is like not great. Like, don't do that.
I find this is really interesting that you're very conscious of what you're doing the whole time too.
Like looking back at it.
Yeah. Okay,
like I was in my like early 20s at the time.
Gotcha.
And like I just basically moved myself in. And I was just trying to contribute, I guess. Like I still don't really make dinner.
I don't make dinners, quotation marks.
But I have like other skills,
Yeah.
So I was trying to like display my other skills of cleaning up after the party and like folding your laundry.
So you're saying rinse out the cans, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never do that. I'm irresponsible.
Yeah.
I like IPAs in a big bag, and I brought them to the beer store, and like they sat in the sun for like months, and I bring them to the place, and the guy's just like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like, don't ever come here again. I'll give you your money right now. It's like, this is disgusting, and I'm like, it smells really bad. It was horrible.
I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah. Thanks for the cash.
Jesus Christ.
I can ask a question. Are you aware of your vocal range?
Okay. Am I aware of my vocal range?
Is that a loaded question?
Yes. Like, am I aware of like how high I can go, how low I can go?
Exactly, yeah.
I think so. I do take voice lessons.
Okay.
So, and I do like vocal warm-ups and stuff.
That's what I was going to ask you, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I use the keyboard, like the piano, to do that. And so I kind of test where I can go and where I can't go. But like I can't really tell you the exact note. So like I want to say maybe like D2 is like my lowest.
Okay.
Octave, yeah.
Yeah, and then my highest, oh my God, I have no idea. It's not that high.
Okay.
I'm a pretty, like, the way that I'm talking right now is like my comfortable range.
Yeah. But what were you saying the other day? You're like, I always thought I was a tenor, but now I think I'm a more like
soprano. I always thought I was an alto, but then after practicing with Marianne, my vocal teacher, also Adeline.
That's what, okay.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Oh, cool.
She said that I am either a soprano or just like an alto with a very wide range. Yeah.
When you use the word, so actually, before I get to that question, so do you have a preference for like different keys? Do you feel uncomfortable in certain keys or like better in other keys?
Absolutely. So okay, here we go.
She loves the white keys.
I do.
Yeah, like in C.
Who doesn't?
C, D, and G.
Okay, so, like singing here, this is kind of like a good range for me. If I were to like kind of start singing on stage, I'd be fine.
It's pretty close to your actual singing voice. Yeah.
And then anything that's like, I might crack, I apologize. Anything that's like, up here is like I can do it, but it's just like, I'd rather not. And so there are songs, again, going back to conflict, that like go up there.
Yeah, okay.
And
I force it. Yeah.
He forces it. But it's like really good for me, you know?
Yeah. But like what I find with Marie's is that like writing songs together, I've kind of learned her good spots.
That's nice.
I mean, so there's a couple of keys that she is like very like key of E and A or like kind of like her strong suits.
Yeah.
But I also just try not to mention it to her because then I know she'll be like, why isn't this one in the key of A?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, well, because it isn't. So we do try to like change it up, but there are definitely there's definitely like your happy points for sure.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. And I did know like the E thing. I just didn't know how to say it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
And like sometimes it's like it's really funny because I'll be playing a song and she'll be like, I don't get it. I'm like, it's in the key of E, and she's like, oh, and then just sings it fine. And you're like, so like I don't know if it's a mental block.
Oh my god, that happened like twice.
That happened.
Just to help us.
No, it's great.
Yeah. What about like
That's
capos
funny.
and different tunings maybe? Like I've used like capos to like rise something up or
we've done that
down.
a couple especially like for the
Wedding
country
song?
and the country EP.
Yes,
The wedding song. Yeah, the country EP. Like we moved commuting like that. And
Yeah,
stuff like
like
that. Just found the right key for it.
Yeah, like it was a bit too low. Yeah, and then we moved it up a bit.
Yeah.
On like the Bandcamp like picture, you guys are like wearing some kind of very comfortable robes.
I changed it. Yeah. Okay.
What
Yes.
was the deal with this picture? It was like I imagine you guys are kind of like sort of flowing in like in the forest or something.
I assume it was probably a promo for the nude show.
Yeah. And so then I kind of just we took that photo and I thought it was like a decent photo.
Yeah, it's a nice photo. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. So I just was like, we had a different one up there for a long time, and we're evolving, we're changing, and I was like, this one, you know.
and like this might be the most cliche question to ask, but unsociably high. I mean, I think I know what it means. I mean, it's when you're high and you're so high that you can't communicate with people.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, you don't need to ask that question. You already got it. Yeah.
It explains itself.
Basically what it was like, I was like 20 at the time, and like me and 4 other friends like rented this like dank house on Carling Avenue.
Can I ask what the intersection on Carling is?
It was like Carling and Woodruff.
Okay.
Like right across from Carlingwood Mall.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And we would just get like so high that we just wouldn't say anything, and we'd just sit there with guitars and be like for like hours. And we'd always joke that like this band's gonna be called Unsociably High because we're all just too high to talk to each other. And I always that always stuck with me. And I was like, oh man, I want to start a band called that because it's a great name. Yeah.
I had a different interpretation. I thought it was like you'd be at a party.
But that's
you smoke some weed,
yes,
and you'd be okay. But when you had too much weed, you start too much. Yourself.
Yeah. And sometimes it happens with booze or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like you just have a bit too much, and you're just like, I can't talk right now.
Yeah, and sometimes for me, I get anxious when that happens.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I'm being too quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, you're aware that you're your own quiet.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
The brain.
Yeah, Jesus, with marijuana, it's not. A lot of second guessing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
So you're planning to release something soon?
Yeah, we're hoping October.
Okay. Oh, it's the soon. Okay, that's pretty soon. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
It's approaching.
it is. It's way too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're hoping. Yeah, we'll have it all out October sometime. We don't have a date set yet.
Yeah, we're trying to plan like a listening party as well.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do like a show and stuff? Or, like, must do like a release?
Well, so the country EP has in one song it has like a washboard, spoons, bass, violin, guitar, and like shakers, like a whole bunch of other percussion stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So we don't really have the manpower to perform it live.
Okay.
So it's going to be more of a listening party. So
okay.
we'll probably again do it at like the Urban Art Collective. We're doing kind of like a takeover there for that month kind of thing, and doing a bunch of art stuff.
Okay.
And then like we'll do our nude show as like kind of a show around that time. But to actually see us perform the country stuff, it probably will never happen.
So it's more.
Never say never, but like
yeah. That's what I said. Probably.
Yeah.
You know?
It's more like a recording project than it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun recording project that we just like wanted to do and release and stuff like that. That's different and zany and wacky than our normal stuff kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. On the last album, who played drums on it?
Our friend Sean Sissons. Yeah.
So how did that?
I've known him from like high school.
Okay.
And like we were friends, and it was kind of like, hey, can you play drums on our album? And he's like, yeah.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, and he rocked it, just crushed it.
Yeah, it was really.
And then
good.
obviously it was like, play drums for us. No. Like, all right.
Yeah, he's got his own stuff.
Yeah, he does a lot of his own stuff. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
My Hill.
What's that?
Yeah.
His music project is called My Hill.
My Hill. Okay.
Yeah.
I've not. Is he playing live?
Folky.
Or is this
Yeah, he plays around town and stuff
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. It's super awkward just to end the interview.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
I had no smooth transition.
Yeah. Intro into exit music.
Do you have anything profound to say to make us all
Profound.
Yeah. Life is like a shit sandwich. The more bread you have, the less shit you taste.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys doing this. It's really nice.
For sure.
well,
Thank you
for having
so
us.
much.
Yeah,
it has
was
been
great.
a blast.
Yeah.
Like
This is
we
really fun.
never get to do this, so it's